Yo, what is up guys? It's Andos here, your friendly neighborhood Warzone coach. What is going on? In today's episode, I'm going to help you win more gunfights. Are you tired of losing gunfights? Well, not to worry, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to help you destroy your enemies. First, what I'm going to do is go over some general concepts and tips to help you be more consistent and improve. Then I'll break down some scenarios to give you some insight on what you should be thinking about during these intense gunfights and go from there. By the end of the video, you should be able to use these tips/concepts to help you be more consistent and win more gunfights. Let's go. Before we begin, please demolish that like button. I would appreciate it so much. Sub to the YouTube channel if you are interested in getting better at Warzone. Check out my YouTube streams as well. I'm live almost every day. If you are interested in 1v1 coaching, go check out my website at www.andos.gaming.com. This is where I analyze your mechanics/gameplay to provide a training program for you just to make sure you're getting the best experience from playing Warzone. With that out of the way, let's get into the tips. Tip number 1, centering. The reason I put centering as tip number 1 is because this is the foundation. If you are bad at centering, you are going to lose a lot of gunfights. I see it all the time. People are aiming too low, or you're not anticipating where the enemy is going to be. For example, stop running with the dot pointing at the ground all the time. I get it, you do need to loot, but during gunfights or in high traffic areas, try to have that little dot around chest level. The goal is to have your crosshair as close to the enemy as possible, so all you need to do is aim and shoot if someone appears. Another thing when it comes to centering, you need to adjust accordingly. For example, if you're going upstairs, don't just have the dot staring at the steps, have your dot above where the enemy may appear. Just little things like that can make a huge difference. Try to anticipate where the enemy will be and have your crosshair ready at all times. Centering is king. Tip number 2, movement. If centering is number 1 when it comes to important, movement is probably second. I'm going to go into full detail in this video. If you want complete breakdowns on how to utilize movement in Warzone, go check out my full movement guide. I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, go check out my channel. I have a library of advanced movement tip videos as well. Anyways, if you want to win more gunfights, you are going to need to work on your movement. If I was coaching a brand new player, these are the mechanics I would advise you to get familiar with. Slide cancels, jump shots, drop shots, burpees, shouldering, snaking, and B-hops. Again, if you don't know these moves or how to do them, remember to check out my full guide where I go into detail. Movement is one of those things where it's just going to tip things in your scale when it comes to winning gunfights. You can use movement to get yourself out of sticky situations. You can use movement to break people's cameras. You can use movement to utilize Peeker's advantage and much more. On that subject, if you're wondering what Peeker's advantage is, when you peek around the corner, you can see the enemy for a split second before they can see you. And when paired with movement, like for example swinging around the corner, it can be super effective. One thing you also want to pay attention to when using movement, this is a big mistake I see, is make sure your centering is on point. Don't slip and slide everywhere, but your crosshair is pointing at the ground or not in the right place. Good centering paired with good movement is the recipe you want. Tip number 3, read how enemies will push you. Warzone has definitely evolved over the years. I feel like generally the player base has gotten a lot better since the Verdansk days. There's a lot more information out there now on how to improve, and I guess people are more new to the game now. So if you feel like the game is harder now compared to back then, you are not alone. Saying that, I noticed one skill that good players have above the rest, and that's the ability to read how the enemy will push you. I feel like to get to that next level, you can't just muscle your way through anymore, especially when versing multiple people. I recommend playing it smart and reading how the enemy will react so you can adjust accordingly. A simple example would be, if you down one enemy, you can assume that teammates will start to push towards your position. Don't just sit around and loot, prepare yourself for another battle. Just things like that are good to be aware of. Predict how enemies will rotate, predict how they will push you, predict how enemies will react to certain events. If you do this, your game will definitely increase and you will definitely get a lot more kills. I will break down some scenarios later in the video to emphasize what I mean further, so make sure to stick around. This tip applies more to the resurgence mode players. Every time you get a kill, please look at your minimap. I always mention this in my tip videos because it is so essential and people are still not looking at the minimap. Make it a habit, people. Look at the minimap every time after you get a kill. I won't spend too much time on this subject, but just look at your minimap, please. Intel is everything when it comes to winning gunfights. The more you know, the better. Tip number 5, focus on the immediate threat. We often get distracted when we see an easy kill in front of us or someone who's parachuting down towards us. and we often make the mistake of not focusing on the immediate threat. During a gunfight, try to focus on the enemy who poses the most threat to you. The goal is to stay alive during gunfights. My old mate Terminal said to me, Andos, do you want a 1KD or a 5KD? Stay alive. Focus on the immediate threat people, stay alive and the kills will rack up. No point getting an easy kill and dying straight away, keep that in mind. Tip number 6, reposition. One of the most important aspects when it comes to winning gunfights, especially if the gunfights drag out or if you're versing multiple targets. Repositioning can throw off the enemy and you can catch people off guard. Don't stay in one spot for too long. You can be predictable, and when you're predictable, your chances of winning the gunfight decreases. Move around after each kill to throw off the enemy, or just in general, change your angles to give yourself the advantage. Be elusive and unpredictable. This should give you the upper hand. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed those tips / concepts I want you to work on. Now on to the breakdown where we can really drill things down further. Before we do that, again, quick reminder, please smash that like button, it would mean the world to me. Sub to the YouTube channel if you are interested in some awesome Warzone content. And I stream every day on YouTube as well. Remember to check me out live, say hello so we can be best buddies. Let's continue. Alrighty, in this gunfight, I'm just going to demonstrate how minimap awareness and being able to read how the enemy team will push you is super effective. Making sure you pay attention to your minimap in resurgence modes can really get you those extra kills. Let's break down this gunfight. So I bump into an enemy here and I get the kill. Straight away, information appears on the minimap and I can tell I'm going to get pushed straight away. So I get behind cover to cut off line of sight. It's pretty obvious. I have information on my mini UAV. I know the enemy is going to push. Also, just being aware, when you're down an enemy, the enemy squad is most likely going to push on your position, trying to get the easy kill. So I counter attacked accordingly. This is the best case scenario for me. I've caught this enemy off guard just sprinting towards me. I was able to read the play, getting the easy kill. Again, I look at the mini UAV. I know a third person is going to push my position. Look pretty ugly, but it managed to work out.
Oh, bro, I'm so... Thank you.
I know there's still one target around. We are playing quads, so I just go hunting, see what I can find. I get caught off guard here. There's another team in the area. Look, it does happen, but you're not always going to win every gunfight. There are situations like this when you get third party. The most important thing is keep learning, keep trying to do better. Let's get into the next breakdown. In the next gunfight, I'm stuck in a situation where there are multiple enemies around me. You don't always have to rush things. Play it smart, use information to your advantage, use the mini UAVs, try to predict how enemies will push you. Let's get into it. I managed to get the kill through a window. Sorry about the pause there, my video is just being a little bit weird. I do have a UAV up and this is where I make my decisions. So I've got two targets on my left, one target on my right, and it just seems like the target on my right is a way easier choice, and I've got buildings in the way to isolate this gunfight, so I get this quick easy kill first. It's all about taking easy gunfights when possible.
Yeah, like you've been taking out by a few bushwalkies this game.
Someone's close back, okay.
Yep, thank you.
Gravy.
Oh, yeah.
So my teammate gets down, unfortunately, so I start pushing this target. I remember in my head, I'm trying to make a mental image. The last thing I saw was the enemy running towards the right. I'm trying to listen out as well, and I can kind of hear the footsteps when I was pushing. So I jump around and try to take the angle and win this gunfight. In this situation, I could have went for the revive. However, there are enemies around, so the smarter decision is to take the fight first.
Oh, you're insane.
Dude, I don't have enough bullets. I did notice I didn't have a lot of bullets in my gun, so at this point I really need to get some headshots. Yeah, guys. After this kill, I quickly see the last enemy on the mini-map and I act accordingly. Yeah, gotcha.
Bro, you're insane.
Oh,
let's go, baby.
Let's go.
And you clutch for res.
Luck. Next time you're in a gunfight where there are multiple people around, try to take the easy gunfights first, isolate the enemy. You don't need to rush in straight away. Remember to
I
play
had
it
a
smart.
phase
Each time you get a kill, check the UAV. It's going to help you a lot. Don't revive your teammate if it's super dangerous. Take the gunfights first and then move from there. Well, that is it for today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Remember to smash the like button, sub to the YouTube channel for awesome Warzone content. Remember to check out the A squad as well. Terminal EXE, he's a 5KD player, streams on YouTube every day. Nasu Controller Demon, he's also on YouTube. I'm hoping he's going to start streaming soon. I really encourage you to start streaming, Nasu, if you are watching this. And I've got Nems AU, which is a really good mouse and keyboard player that I play with. Go check him out on Twitch. Anyways, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best and good luck on the Warzone.